This new helping to bring the good times back to Hull Kingston Rovers, but this is a bigger test than you're used to.
Yeah, huge test for us. Great occasion for the players, great occasion for the fans, big occasion for the club. Top 4 Super League side, and very excited about today, and I know the players are very much looking forward to the game.
You'll be pleased no Lee Breers for them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's a top quality player, it's a big loss, but they're certainly not a one-man team. They've got great players sprinkled across the park. So yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a boost, but at the same time, there's 17 players we'll have to keep an eye on.
Some people will remember you from Toulouse's cup run last year. You defeated Widnes, a big shock. Is it that kind of collective spirit really you need today?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously we're going to need a little bit of the bounce of the ball, but we've been playing some good, entertaining rugby recently. We're a team with a little bit of confidence. We don't mind throwing the ball around. Weather's conducive to entertaining rugby today, so the boys are up for today, but very much so.
Thanks, Justin. Best of luck.
Thank you.
First, no Lee Breers for you today. How big a loss is that, and what's wrong with him?
He's got a slight tweak in the hamstring, and we have to make sure it's not such a loss that people might think, very comfortable in the halves with Simon Grix at loose forward and Chris Bridge and Mick Sullivan at 6 and 7. So we think we've got enough there to get us around the field. We'd like to have Lee playing in a game, it's going to be as big as this and as tough as this. But that's the test of your squad.
The neutrals are here looking for an upset. How big a potential banana skin is this for you?
Well, we've got to make sure that it isn't. We treat Hull Kingston Rovers with the utmost respect, and that's the way that we've trained and prepared for this game. Lee Breers could have got into this game at a push, and we don't want to risk him because we know it's going to be rough and it's going to be tough, and played at a very, very decent pace. So we've given the respect that their winning run has earned.
Thanks, Paul. Best of luck.
Who has bags of pace through to James Webster, the Aussie-born halfback, who will be key to Hull KR's chances today. In the pack, Ben Fisher is a lively dummy half, but watch out for the back row. The likes of Michael Smith and loose forward Tommy Gallagher, who do have Super League experience and both in terrific form. Warrington, one major absence. Lee Breers out with a hamstring injury. Michael Sullivan takes his place. And in the pack, well, it's a pack that should dominate. Lightfall, Wood, Swan and Wainwright, all big-name players. And all the subs will be used, you would expect, at some point this afternoon. Steve Ganson is our referee of immense talent and experience as well. And we're about to get underway on a very noisy afternoon as well. There are something like 8,000 packed inside this rather picturesque ground, New Craven Park. They've been playing here now for 16 years or so. And here comes Michael Smith with the original drive and a good offload as well. And Ben Fisher is able to scamper another 5 yards or so. These opening moments, as ever, are so important. There is a lot of local confidence in these parts that Hull Kingston Rovers can pull off a real upset today. But it would be just that. They are distinct underdogs against this Warrington side, but it's a very powerful start they've made. Webster with the offload. It's Morel who's caught in possession. 2 tackles still to come. Driven in by the Papua New Guinean Makali Azui. Now, how good is the kick here on the 6th tackle? Morel with a little jab over the top. Should be covered by Reardon, and he's lucky that it just rolls out of play, and it'll be a tap back on the 20. But as starts to a game go, that was pretty good, John Keir.
Yeah, it was an excellent start for the Rovers there. They were happy with the control of the ball, got some good go forward. Scotland are a little disappointed his ball trickled dead, but Warrington as well, they played the way into the game quite comfortably also.
By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but you got a terrific reception from the Hull Kingston Rovers fans.
Yeah, I realised that, David.
Big drive by Logan Swan. How big a miss is Lee Breers, by the way, for Warrington? It's a penalty here, holding down.
It's a big one, and that's a big error as well by Hull Kingston Rovers. Holding down there. Mr. Ganson won't tolerate that. He'll want a quick game, and it will allow a great field position for the Warrington Wolves to start with ball in hand.
Tap on the 40, and it's driven forward by one of the several New Zealanders on the field today, Logan Swan. Chris Bridge is the dummy half. Here's Clark, back inside for Wood, who could well be figuring for Great Britain before this season is out. He was named to the 36-man squad for the one-off test against New Zealand at the end of June. Here's Gleeson, Martin Gleeson. Hulkingston Rovers' first real test of defence here at the start of this game. Clark again, out it goes to Sullivan, wider still, little dummy from Griggs, Griggs for the line, he's just going to be held up, but there are still 2 tackles to come here. Clark will search for any weak links in that Hulkingston Rovers line, none found, and Reardon goes down. 6th tackle, picked up quickly by Swan, he tries to go for Brunt, reaches for the line, and the referee isn't sure if he's got the touchdown or not.
Or if he lost it.
Well, it was a cracking set there, David, wasn't it? And they really did ask lots of questions, lots of ball movement. And Logan Swan there, he feels pretty confident that that he's got the 4 points.
Quickly, boys.
But they're just checking the ground in. Tremendous leg drive. Look at the body position there. The tackle's certainly not completed there. I think that's a try, David.
Well, there's a roar, I think, from the Hulkingston Rovers fans who felt he lost possession there.
Well, I think he had enough control there and downward pressure, but it'll be good to repeat it and have another look. Well, it's a 50-50 one. Will the benefit of the doubt go to Logan Swan?
David Campbell is our video referee, who has the job of making the decision. Inevitably, someone is going to be disappointed. Try is given. Try is given. It's the perfect start from Warrington's point of view.
Yeah, and I've got to agree with that. I thought he had enough control there. He certainly got the downward pressure. And if there's going to be a little 50-50 benefit of the doubt, you must go with the offensive team, the attacking team. That's what they've done. And Warrington Wolves certainly made Hulkingston Rovers pay for that transgression at the play of the ball.
Well, Bridge has the chance to add the 2 here. Should be fairly straightforward. Just to the right and easily converted, and Warrington have the lead by 6 points to 0, thanks in no small part to Logan Swan's enormous reach.
Yeah, I think Logan Swan was obviously instrumental, but obviously they had difficulty putting Stuart Reardon down. He got a very quick play of the ball, left a man on the floor, a defender on the floor. That allowed Logan Swan to go from dummy half, and he reached out for a great try. So I think that was a well-constructed team try, Dave.
Well, what kind of response can we see now from this Hulkingston Rovers side? Well, Warrington are missing Lee Briers, but they've started well without him. He's down on the sidelines talking to Damien Johnson.
Lee, the perfect start to settle nerves, I guess.
Yeah, hopefully, but sometimes that can work against you scoring early on, but yeah, it's a nice start.
How disappointed are you to miss out today with a hamstring?
Yeah, really gutted. I thought I had a decent chance of playing, but it's a slight strain, and the match what we're playing in probably just couldn't take that risk.
Thanks, Lee.
Well, that's gone free, and it's been lost. Knock on.
Excellent work there from the youngster Scott Morrell. He really did front up in defence there. Logan Swan came at him. They're obviously spotting Webster and Scott Morrell, who are defending side by side down the left-hand side of Hulkingston Rovers, but he really stood up there to Logan Swan and forced the error.
One of several youngsters who came through the Leeds Academy, Scott Morrell. The Kane's going to be held up. Wants to get on with it as quickly as he possibly can. Here's Gallagher, who's in terrific form at the moment, Tommy Gallagher. Just got the National League One Player of the Month award. And they've set themselves up nicely here. Webster, little ball back inside, but that Warrington defence is used to doing the hard work on their own line. Webster, and then Cocaine, but Webster did knock on. It wasn't the best of passes.
No, I'm sure that Ben Fisher will be a little disappointed there with the service that he provided. Such a pass ball, Rich, dipping, very difficult for Webster to take, but that's the sort of service that you need. You need to get some width from the dummy half to allow your pivotal players such as Webster and Morrell to play at the fringes.
Here's Gross for Warrington. It's a terrific setting here as well, this new Craven Park ground. I think we can lose the new, can't we, now, because it is 16 years old, but it is almost too good, isn't it, really? Warrington are going to be okay on here. They're going to feel fairly comfortable on here.
I think the surface is certainly of Super League standard, and it's marvellous to see such a crowd in here, isn't it? It's a great atmosphere.
Terrific noise. But how long can they keep that volume high? Because most in here are wearing the red and white of the Robins, the Hulkingston Rovers, but it is Warrington who dominate on the scoreboard. It's a juggle for Bridge. And they are now on the 6th tackle. Clark goes back. Here's Grix. Little jabbed kick over the top. Byron Ford, the Cook Islander, takes and brings it away from the danger zone.
That was a good kick, though, wasn't it, from Simon Grix there? He found terra firma, he found the grass, and he made Byron Ford go into his own in goal to retrieve the ball, and they're really now fronting up in defence, Warrington.
It's taken by John Steele from dummy half. The backs are doing the hard work here, and they're doing a decent job too in getting it away. Here's Morton, Gareth Morton.
It was all three quarters there, David, and Warrington tried to slow the three quarters down there. There was Steele in there, there'd been the fullback in there, and then Gareth Morton. They tried to slow him down illegally, and that's a great piggyback out of their own territory into the opposition territory once Webster put the ball into touch.
Webster's penalty carries Rovers inside the Warrington half. Here comes Morrison. He's not going to get too far. He's another with Super League experience, Ian Morrison, having played with Huddersfield at the higher level. Webster's ball to Tangata Toa.
Second. Ball hold.
This is Fisher, the dummy half. Across to Michael Smith, who almost sachets through. Just held on to by Grix. And Grix holding on too long in the end. Penalty for Kingston Rovers.
Yes, he did really well there, Michael Smith. Playing down that left-hand side channel. Bust one tackle, got his arms free, and was just looking for someone to push with him to offload the ball. But you can see there, Grix holding him down, trying to slow the play the ball down, and Rovers have chosen to keep the pressure on Warrington.
Well, it shows a level of confidence, doesn't it? Not going for the two, but feeling they can get all six. Morrison's held up 5 yards away. Fisher again. This is Webster, now Tangata Toa. Well, they are really pressing. Warrington are being tested here. It's back to Webster again. Morrell had to hurry, he spilled it, but it's Goddard who gets in to just about retain possession for his side. Fisher, little grubber kick from him, it's being chased by Gallagher, it hits the post, and had it gone through, it might have been Gallagher's try.
Yeah,
instead it's Warrington who come up with possession.
It's a tactic that you use, you look to hit these pads and make the ball ricochet off. It makes it a 50-50, but unfortunately for Kingston Rovers, it was Warrington that came up with the ball, but pretty good pressure from the red and whites.
If we have any doubts about Kingston Rovers' spirit, having conceded so early on, I think they've been erased in the last few minutes, haven't they?
They've been marvellous, they've been helped with a couple of penalties, but they've certainly taken full advantage of it, and I know they're using this as a benchmark to see how well they'd fit into Super League. Well, at the minute, it's pretty good.
As Damien mentioned earlier, they've gone 17 wins in succession this season, and they are hot favourites to get promoted from the National League into the Super League, and they are playing at Super League level at the moment, as Byron Ford threatens again. Here's Webster. Goddard takes it on, but only a pace or two. Fisher. Ozui. This is Fisher again. Now a chance for Tangata Toa to use his considerable frame. He's made 1 or 2 dents, but can they go all the way through here? Michael Smith again, attracting defenders to him as he takes possession.
Back, Chris, back foot.
Here comes the 6th. Webster, grubber kick again. He did go for the upright. He's missed it. But have they got the touchdown? No.
Nice. Got over the dead ball line there. Good full-back play by Stuart Reardon. I felt that he had that under control all the way through. Put the ball through, and they've grounded it, but they grounded it on the dead ball line. So took a bit of a risk, Stuart Reardon, and good play by Kingston Rovers.
Unlucky for Scott Morrell, he was inches away from becoming a Rovers hero. There's Logan Swan, try scorer, great offload, good hands, Farfili, he can move, but so can the defence. Fisher across to make the tackle. Martin Gleeson swinging it back to the middle. Here's Bridge with a step off his left foot. Warrington have the quality to open up good defences, and they are doing well here again. It's Reardon who's held up 5 yards away. Clark's the dummy half. Sullivan, flat ball. It's shot past Morton, and somehow Warrington keep possession. Grix with a kick. It's a turn and a chase for Steele, and he's going to be put down behind his own try line, is he?
He went into touch, corner flag, so what it'll be a head and feet to Warrington, 10 metres away from the line. Very clever play, wasn't it, from Simon Griggs. Once the ball hit the ground, it looks as if the attack had stopped, but they regrouped very quickly with Brent Gross just offloaded to Griggs, and then that's quick thinking there. Put the ball into the corner. John Steele diffuses the situation, but Richie Barnett puts him on the sideline. Great attacking position.
And Warrington are back in the box seat again here with Gleeson. 5 tackles to come, 5 yards to cover. You'd back the Super League side to score from here, and they do it on the very next play. It's his second try of the game. Logan Swan crashing over once again, and Warrington, having ridden an awful lot of pressure at the other end, have suddenly put themselves in a very comfortable position.
Yes, clever play from Griggs, got them the scrum down to play the ball. Gleeson tackled one-on-one. Look how they shaped up there. They created a 3v2 situation, and that put doubt in the Hull Kingston Rovers defenders. There's Morell out there, there's the Kane out there. Who do we take? Well, Morell goes one-on-one with Swan, but Swan's just so strong and crashes over in the corner. But that's a try there for for Gleeson there, creating the quick play of the ball. Quick shaping up by the Warrington Wolves, created 3-on-2, and they took full advantage of that.
It's a tough ask for Chris Bridge. On the wrong side, if you like, from a right footer's point of view. Struck well, but it's going to be wide.
They'll be very happy with the start that they've made, though, the Warrington Wolves, because Hull Kingston are putting under pressure. But just watch Gleeson here. He is a threat. He normally goes outside. This time he steps off his right foot, goes to the inside, creates a quick play of the ball. 3 minutes to 2 because Logan Swan comes to this right-hand side. A face pass to Swan puts him one-on-one against a smaller player, and over he goes. Great try. Very clever rugby league.
They will not have been surprised with the start to this game, will they, Warrington? They will have known that Hull Kingston Rovers would have really taken it to them. Oh, has he lost that? Well, the referee says they'll play on.
Yeah, if he did lose it, I felt that he lost it backwards anyway, but yeah, they've asked a question of to our Rovers, but they've more than answered it of the Warrington Wolves, and there's a soft penalty there.
Penalty for Hull Kingston Rovers.
Henry Fafila not playing the ball properly. He did not play the ball with his foot, an incorrect play of the ball, and that's a very soft penalty, and great pressure for Hull KR.
Here's Azui, the Papua New Guinean. It's Fisher at dummy half. Webster now, back inside for Michael Smith, who in his time has destroyed 1 or 2 Super League defences. It's Webster again, but he'll go no further than that. This is Goddard. Cocaine's a dummy runner. Goddard fancied a little dabble himself, but runs into the shoulder of Chris Lightfall. Fisher. Here's Morell along the line. Quick hands as well. Gallagher untidily away to that right-hand side, and Steele, who tries to take on Barnett and Sullivan. They just about bring him down. It's a short one for Morrison. But again, the Warrington defence was always going to respond positively to that kind of threat. Here comes a 6th tackle. Back to Morell. Now Webster. Webster's grubber kick. Michael Smith's chasing it. And just about there first was the fullback Reardon, who concedes the dropout underneath the sticks.
My word, you can see why Hull Kingston Rovers are in such good form. There's some real good offensive rugby league. A lovely dab through there. It looks as if Michael Smith's going to get there, but Reardon and Fafili just descend upon the ball. And it's Reardon who knocks it over the dead ball line, but it's a repeat set of 6, and they are building momentum, they are building pressure, are the red and whites.
In the 17 games they've won this season, only once have they scored fewer than 30 points, which tells you about their attacking potency. 16 games in which they've scored 30 points or more.
Keep coming.
Obviously, they've never played anyone like Warrington so far, but even so, it is...
it's impressive, yes.
It's a reflection of their attitude, if nothing else.
This is another step up, though, isn't it? The Warrington Wolves, they're a very good Super League team.
Little dummy by Webster is not bought. It's taken by Fisher. This is Morell, short pass! Cocaine's over! And Craven Park erupts with delight. They needed the next try, and my word, have they got it. Ben Cocaine, the exciting fullback, has zipped his way through, and Hull Kingston Rovers Rovers are determined to make this a cup tie.
Yeah, that's the reward for pressure, but look how well that Webster does here. It's Morelson, he looks to the outside, he's got Michael Smith running his outside, which attracts defenders, but he looks then to his inside, and Cockayne, who's shaped up on the inside, and he just has enough strength, pace and power to brush off Paul Wood, and that's a marvellous try. Very good rugby league football from a central field position. Back rowers outside him, the full-back jockeying up on the inside for a marvellous try. Real good rugby league from Hull Kingston Rovers, and I must say, Dave, thoroughly deserved.
Well, listen to the noise now. Somehow, Gareth Morton has to find a little place of silence inside his mind as he prepares himself for this kick at goal. Former Scottish Rugby Union player Gareth Morton. They've had a few links with Scottish Rugby Union over the years, haven't they? The great George Fairbairn wants a full-back here. Morton, left-footed, crouches, the familiar style of the rugby goal kicker these days. Puts this over, the gap is only 4 points. It is only 4 points. They've got a sniff of the old days in the air. Hull Kingston Rovers are rolling back the years.
Marvellous work, was it, from Morel? Look how he looks to his outside and then just chooses the inside runner. And there's just that smidgen of a gap there that Cockayne manages to exploit. He's a very, very exciting fullback. Really timed his run very well and hit the ball very aggressively. And that allowed him to take him over the goal line for a very good try.
Hull Kingston Rovers 6, Warrington 10. Having conceded twice early on, Hull Kingston Rovers have shown everyone what they are made of. Spirit intact. Hopes remain alive. Can they push on from here? Well, it's a decent start to the set here. John Steele has got them.
Yeah, once again, it's the three quarters going in, isn't it? Steele's in, and now it's the fullback Cockayne. And they really are helping the forwards out. And the footwork and the elusiveness is causing Warrington some problems in that central channel.
That's good play by Fisher, trying to milk a penalty, and he's got it. He's got it.
That's down to the three quarters, David. The three quarters got in. They got quick play of the balls. Warrington Marcus couldn't get set. So it's given Rovers another set of 6 and good field position as well.
They have Warrington rattled. This is Michael Smith. Still going.
Well, they're on a roll now, Hull KR, and they really have got momentum, Dave.
Here comes Azui.
Second.
Fisher up at dummy half. Webster looks along the line and finds his halfback partner Morel, who steps inside.
Third. Keep coming.
This is Fisher again. Only 10 yards between Hull Kingston Rovers and an equalising try. Morrison with a step. Just pulled down. Fisher. Back to Morel. Morel with a chip, and Zui's chasing, hits the man, oh, it rolled into his hands! It rolled into his hands, and he is confident that this is a try, but we'll have to wait and see. The square is in the air, the referee has asked for the replay.
I think Mr. Ganson's done exactly the right thing, because I don't know how the ball finished up with Michael Azou, but I do know it's a very good kick, I do know the name for the post, and he just ricocheted off him, and he scored. End of story. I think he was as surprised as anybody else, but he'll take it. The ball hits the post. They've tried that ploy before, and he just ricochets off him. There's nothing wrong with that. 4 points, and I'm sure they'll tag the 2. And we've got the Red Whites of Hull Kingston Rovers going to take the lead in this quarter-final tie. Well, well, well.
I don't think they've heard a roar as loud as this in this side of Hull since 1986. Tries given, tries confirmed. We're all square again with a kick to come. Hull Kingston Rovers, having trailed 10-0, could be set to take the lead. It's a fairy tale start for them so far.
Marvellous start. You've got to admire the resilience and the self-belief, Dave, because to go 10 points down to a team like Warrington, there's bound to be seeds of doubt sown, but they've just ignored that, continued playing as their structure dictates, and they've come up with the goods.
They're still celebrating in the background as Morton prepares his second conversion attempt of the day. It's over! It's Hull Kingston Rovers 12, Warrington 10. Would you believe this scenario?
Yeah, and there's the markers not being straight, and that was down to people like John Steele and Cocaine getting in there, using footwork and playing the ball quickly, and that's an exquisite little kick from Scott Morrell, and well finished by the big prop forward Azu.
This competition has the potential to cause real tingles, doesn't it? We've seen it so many times over the years. Toulouse against Widnes last year, and in the semi-finals against Leeds as well, Toulouse. And they were coached, of course, those days by Justin Morgan, who's on the bench today for Hull Kingston Rovers. And no doubt will be very impressed with the way his side have started here.
It's a marvellous competition, isn't it, David? It's a fairy tale one. There's always a story behind whatever year it is. And you never know, it might be Hull Keano who providing the story this year.
Well, they're going wide again. Here's Cocaine, who scored the first, over the top. Taken on by Byron Ford, who steps inside. Fisher. Michael Smith running into trouble. Oh, that's a terrific offload. And here comes Fisher again. What a pass out of the tackle that was. They are playing at Super League level. No doubts Hull Kingston Rovers so far today. And the kick is good too from Webster, although it just rolls the wrong side of the flag.
But they've come, David. They came from their own line right the way through, and that fellow will be very, very happy indeed. But it's important that he keeps his composure, just as it's important his team maintain the composure and keep this intensity of rugby league up.
Well, you would still, I think, just make Warrington favourites to win this game.
Oh, it's a long, long way, David. 3/4 of the game, but it's been a cracking first 20.
That's a good run by Sullivan. Here's Wood. Well, they are cheering every tackle now, the Hull Kingston Rovers fans.
But Warrington will be glad just to get their hand on the ball because they have been under the cosh, and that's a clever kick from Bridge there. Finding the grass, turning Cocaine, and a good chase there from the Warrington Wolves. They'll look to contain Hull Kingston Rovers now.
Go!
It's an important spell of the game. 22, nearly 23 minutes gone.
Second!
If Hull Kingston Rovers can consolidate for the next 10 minutes or so, that really does set a platform.
No, keep the foot down on the accelerator, Dave. That's the best way to play.
Seb Martin, who's taken it in, the Frenchman, who's on his way back to Catalan tomorrow, by the way. His loan period up. What a way to go out if he can be on a winning side today. Inside the 40, it's a great kick by Webster. Will it roll away? Oh, it's just kept in. Just about kept in by Reardon.
Yeah, marvellous work from the scrum half, Webster. He led the chase there. And they've contained Stuart Reardon inside his own 10 metres.
Here's Barnett trying to lift some of the pressure. Hull Kingston Rovers are playing at 100 miles an hour at the moment.
Go!
How much fuel have they got in the tank?
Third!
Well, they've had most of the possession, I'm sure, David, at the minute, so you should be up for tackling when you've had the ball in hand most of the time.
Taken up towards the halfway line. Referee's seen an infringement there. High tackle on Wood. So it will be...
He won't want that, Justin Morgan, because what he's done is given Warrington good field position now. But it was high.
Hold!
I don't think Mr. Ganson had any alternative but to give that.
First! Hold! Go!
Warrington looking to settle themselves here. It's on by Grix.
Second!
There you can see the possession. Hull Kingston Rovers had 57% so far. Totally dominating, and likewise with territory as well.
Third!
Yeah, just a slight domination of the territory, but it's the possession that they'll be hoping to take the petrol out of the Warrington.
Oh, that's a good ball for Bridge, and on goes Reardon. And might just prick the balloon.
Well, try number one came from a penalty conceded by Hull Kingston Rovers for interference at the play of the ball. Try number 3 for Warrington comes from another penalty from a high tackle, and again it's the fullback on the inside. He looks to play outside Bridge, and he attracts defenders, 2 defenders, and Reardon again is just pushing up on the inside. He makes that pass selection, and then it's good work there to finish, because he still had to shrug a defender off and show great power to go through Cockaine's tackle. Very good finish, but again, full back on the inside from a central 50% field position. Outstanding rugby league by both teams, but that shows how clinical Super League teams are. They've been under the cosh completely for 10 minutes, then they come away and they've just restored their lead.
Bridge puts it over. The gap should be 4 points again in Warrington's favour. He's safe and he's solid. It's 12 for Kingston Rovers, 16 for Warrington as a result of this try.
Yeah, look at that lovely width on that dummy half pass. It's got the defence going sideways. He attracts two defenders, did Bridge, then a lovely little pass on the inside to Stuart Reid, who's been in tremendous form from fullback, and he managed to use his strength to cross and restore the 4-point buffer for the Warrington Wolves.
Okay.
Restart.
He's gone off Clint. So
For Kingston Rovers, long kick downfield. It bounces rather awkwardly again here, very awkwardly, and eventually the tackle is made. Let's go down to the touchline again and hear from Damien Johnson.
Leroy Rivette from Hull KR is with me. Didn't make the 17 today, Leroy. This is some cup tie.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game. Obviously, I'm disappointed not to be playing here today, but just as made a call is pick the players that have been playing in form consistently throughout the season.
Was there always a belief you could match Warrington, a Super League team?
Yeah, we're fairly confident we'll take anybody on playing here at home. We got off to a pretty shaky start. We conceded 2 tries, but the boys have shown character and proven that we're not in overall of the occasion. We've scored a couple back of our own.
Thanks, Leroy.
Cheers, pal.
Leroy Rivette, of course, is a man who's written his own name large in Challenge Cup history. 4 tries, didn't he, in the 1999 Cup final? 4 leads against London, the last final at Wembley so far. Oh, that's just forward. Yeah. So I feel his hands were good there, but it had gone forward before it got to him.
Yeah, well, it's Chris Bridge, isn't it, who's taking on Lee Breer's role, running this right-hand side, and he used great footwork there to make the half break. Looked to pass the ball there, but as you can see, it did go forward, and although Fafila cleaned up, the referee made the correct decision.
It's another of the substitutes, Gareth Price, Welsh international, who's lost possession.
And that's the last thing you'd want early in the tackle count.
Oh, this is a good break from Clark as well. Has support on the inside, and Martin Gleeson will race away. All from the mistake given away by Gareth Price, the Welsh prop. And Warrington didn't stand and wait.
Yeah, Dave, you call it. It's all from the mistake. You can't afford to concede penalties. You can't afford to turn over possession cheaply. This is tackle 1 from a tap. He tries to pass the ball there, and really, it was never on. Westwood's the first to react, and he reacted well. Nothing wrong with that. And then from the play of the ball, Clark went from dummy half. Gleeson pushed up and supported intelligently on the inside for a great try, and once again a penalty or an error has been punished by the Super League team.
Okay with that changeover then, Dave.
Bridge for a 4th time.
No knock on.
Looking to
3 backwards by Price and then
add the 2 to the 4. He started it wide and pulled it in. It's a good kick again. It's 12 for Kingston Rovers. 22 now for Warrington.
Look at that clever play from dummy half. Just showed the ball there, and Jake Webster took the dummy. Had enough there to fend Ben Fisher off. But once he went through there, he took the full-back one way, Ben Cockayne the other way, and Gleeson dropped onto his inside, away from the direction that Cockayne was running, and he just offloaded prior to the collision, and it was a simple run-in by the post. It's Bridges tagged on the extra spot.
Mark Gleeson, as our graphics depict him. It's because his brother is involved as well today, of course. Mark Gleeson. Good defending from Kingston Rovers. Moulton got the shoulder in. But there's a bit of an overlap developing here, but it's been lost. It's been lost, and it's picked up again by Dwayne Barker.
Well, on such things, the game's turn. We had the error there from Price earlier that Warrington Wolves took full advantage of. Let's see if the Rovers of Hull can do the same.
Fisher moves it left to Webster, and then back inside from Michael Smith, who was taken high there.
Logan, careful eye, mate. Back here.
Yeah, he's a big fella, Michael Smith, isn't he? And he's caused a problem or two down this left-hand side. And once again, it was good there. His line of run got onto the inside shoulder of Scott Logan, and it was just an untidy, careless tackle there from Logan that caused that from Logan Swan, that caused that problem. And I think they're just going to settle the game down a little. And I think we need it as well, David, because it's been really has been helter-skelter, one side of the field to the other, one momentum going to Warrington initially, then to Hull Kingston Rovers, back to Warrington, and now we're just looking at it as a good tackle there on Sullivan, taking the defensive line on, lost the ball, and again an error has given a chance for points. And Gareth Morton, the ex-Scottish Rugby Union player, will be looking to tag the two on.
So is this about getting petrol back in the tank as much as getting 2 points on the board?
I'm certain that it is, yes. I think it's just a matter to just draw breath and realise that we've still another 10 minutes of this breathtaking first half to go.
Well, Morton has kicked well so far. 6 foot 5 inches. He's been dubbed the Peter Crouch of Hull Kingston Rovers by one optimistic supporter to me earlier today. Whether it proves to be that way later on, we shall see, but he's added the 2 here and narrows the gap ever so slightly. It's now 14 for Hull Kingston Rovers, 22 for Warrington.
Yeah, well, they've kept the tins on the scoreboard, haven't they, Hull Kingston Rovers, and just got 2 points closer, now an 8-point deficit. It's been a heck of a cup tie, David. What a great first 32 minutes we've had.
Terrific game, terrific atmosphere. Bridge with the restart. Cocaine just controlling it, and then driven back in by Seb Martin. They'll be looking for a fairly straightforward set here, won't they? Hull Kingston Rovers just drive it away from their own line as far as possible.
It'll be the 3 quarters again, David, because they're causing some trouble with his scooting from dummy half, putting late footwork on and just trying to find the floor and play the ball quickly. And it's a good tactic that Justin Morgan's employed with his Rovers side.
Now they move it a little wider. Here's Michael Smith, who in his spells at Castleford at times looked a real class player.
Well, he played for New Zealand, so it can't be that bad.
There's Ford. Logan Swan grabs. Ford beats him, but Clark's there to help out. And a little over-muscular in helping out, and has given the penalty away.
Yeah, they're causing problems, Byron Ford and the other 3 quarters. And that was a good little run. Once again, I liked your description, David, over-muscular. I would agree with that. It was John Clark, actually, wasn't it, on the left winger, Byron Ford. And again, it might be that Warrington will suffer for their ill discipline.
Well, if Hull Kingston Rovers can score again here, and it is a big if, that really does relight the touch paper. Here's Fisher. It's Webster back inside for Morrell, and along the line again it's Dwayne Barker who tries to step inside, but there are 3 there to stop him in his tracks. Just over 6 minutes of this vibrant first half to play, and Hull Kingston Rovers looking to finish on a high if they can. It's Webster, dummies, and then throws it long. It was an ambitious ball that might pay off. Goddard for the corner. John Goddard. What a good try that was. The pass was fantastic, and Goddard's take and finish exemplary too. Cup tie on again.
Yeah, it certainly is, and once again it was a penalty that gave the position, the field position for Hull Kingston Rovers. The pep at the right-hand side. It's a lovely right-to-left shift here. Through the half-backs, Morrell, then Webster. Look at the players running off the ball. He's got inside options, outside options. Chooses a long ball on the outside. That is a tackle miss from Henley Farfili. But very, very well taken indeed. Lovely pass there, lots of options. And Farfili made the correct decision, but he was just off balance there. As Morton it was who went through, John Goddard who went through there for a tremendous try. But lovely ball transference there from Morrell to Webster, and look at the runners inside outside. He still puts a long pass in there, manages to evade that challenge for a very, very well constructed try.
What has been so impressive about Hull Kingston Rovers today is You very often see underdogs trying to muscle it, don't you? Trying to take it down the middle and try and bully their bigger opponents off the field. But they've shown a real willingness to play football today. They've played some really attractive stuff, haven't they?
Played some excellent rugby league, yeah. I thought they've brought the ball out from their own 20 very well using the three quarters. Once they've got into a good ball position, they really have given the ball some air and given lots of options to the pivotal players.
Says it all, really, doesn't it? Pride of East Hull. It's a fitting strap line for their performance so far, but not for that kick. He's put it wide. The 7th try of the afternoon is not converted, but Hull Kingston Rovers are just one try behind again, 18 points to 22.
Look at the work off the ball there. That's absolutely superb. 4 options there for Webster, and he chose the widest one, and it was the correct one. But that's down to the other work off the ball by the other decoy runners for the Rovers. Marvellous try.
Big kick by Bridge. Challenge Cup's great, isn't it? Feel like a small child at Christmas at the moment. It is a fantastic game.
First, hold.
You can tell it's getting to the business end as well, can't you, David?
Yep.
They really are working very hard, both these teams. The intensity of the game is through the roof.
Semi-final looms for one of them.
Third, Morgan.
Good chip by Webster. Good chase as well. Problems here. Goddard's taken it. This is all on. It's all on. It's scored by Ford. Inevitably, there's a question here. The referee is going to go for the video. But I think that's a try.
I do, but you look at the onside first for the kick. It was an early kick by the Rovers player, and he went for the 40-20, but what a superb chase there from Goddard and Ford. And that enthusiasm in the chase, that caused the problems for Reardon and Farfeely. And I agree with you, I think they've taken advantage. He's going for a 40-20 here, Webster. Lovely right-footed kick there.
He's onside.
And it looks as if it's going for the 40-20. Stands up, great chase there by the centre Goddard. He offloads, I think it hits Farfeely's leg, and Byron Ford doesn't ask questions. He just hacks the ball forward, picks up, nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with the downward pressure there. A bit extravagant, shall we say, but so he should be. He's put this back to an even Steven ball game. That's a try.
Tries given. Tries given. Listen to the noise now. It's louder still. They cannot believe it. They simply cannot believe it. Hull Kingston Rovers should have given up the ghost a long time ago. Conceding twice early, getting back level, conceding again, and yet still they keep coming back and back. It is all square with a kick to come.
It is, it's like 10-minute sequences. The first 10 went to Warrington, the momentum was there. Next 10 with Hull Kingston Rovers, then Warrington, and finishing the half very strongly indeed for Hull Kingston Rovers. And if Gareth Morton tags on the extras here, that penalty that they took the 2 points will look very important indeed, because that will be the difference between the teams. Very important kick just before half-time by Gareth Morton.
He kicks this, Hull Kingston Rovers have the lead. Every eye is focused on this one man and this one moment. Can he give Hull Kingston Rovers the lead at half-time? It looks good. It is good. The flags are up. Morton knows that he's given his side the lead. It is 24 points to 22. The Robins are bobbing now.
Yeah, what a great kick that was. It's a chase that made it into a great kick. And that's down to the centre. Great opportunities in there from Byron Ford. But marvellous work there from John Goddard with that chase. He made that try simply through enthusiasm and a never-say-die attitude. And Ford had the skill to take full advantage of it with the little hack forward and regather.
Leeds and Harlequins have got something to live up to, haven't they?
Well, if it's as good as this, we're in for a great afternoon's entertainment.
Don't forget that's coming up next here on Grandstand later on this afternoon. The All-Super League tie at Headingley. But at the moment, the only National League side left in the competition are leading Super League opposition.
Composure is very important, isn't it, David, for both teams now. Hull Kingston Rovers to maintain composure and keep the intensity, and Warrington not to panic.
Well, before this tie, I think a lot of people would have said Warrington are not just favourites to win this, but we're actually looking good to actually go on and win the competition itself. So that tells you how good Hulkingston Rovers' performance is so far today. Justin Morgan looking on there. It's another kick. It's a great kick by Webster.
Clever. He's running the clock down, is Webster. They'll walk to this scrum, Hulkingston Rovers.
Interesting Warrington's response here. If they get there quickly, they can stop the clock.
That's
but
right.
They don't look like they want to stop the clock.
No, they've got to form the scrum, and then Mr. Ganson can then call time off. And he'll call time off. Not now. The ball's in and out.
Couple of tackles, that's all between Hulkingston Rovers and a famous half-time lead here. Maybe they'll have one more chance, Warrington. Barnett takes it, has a run. There will be time for just one more tackle. Do they kick here? Do they put on the shot play? It's picked up by Gleeson. The hoots has sounded, but they'll have to see the ball go dead before the half is ended. Up it goes, down it comes, lost, there's still a chance, knocked on, 2 knocks on, that will be it.
That's it, yeah.
Referee Ganson blows the whistle. Justin Morgan has got quite a hard-time team talk to give his players. More of the same, fellas, I think is going to be the context. It has been a terrific half of rugby league.
An absolute first-class game of rugby league, and both teams have contributed fully to it. You've got to be impressed with Warrington, but you've got to be further impressed by Hulkingston Rovers. They really have stood up to the occasion, and this crowd is absolutely loving it, Dave.
Don't go too far away from your TVs in the next 15 minutes. We've got a classic on our hands. Half-time, Hulkingston Rovers 24, Warrington 22.
Yeah, fantastic. We know where Warrington, they do concede a lot of points, and we've exploited them very, very well. The game plan, the guys are playing it absolutely to a T. We know Warrington score a lot of points, but again, they're going to concede a lot, and the guys were absolutely superb out there this first half.
What will you be looking for to improve in the second half to complete the job?
I think we've just got to improve as defence. We've let some early soft tries in, poor mistake turning the ball over and giving Gleeson that try, but the guys will be dirty on themselves that they've let 22 points in, but to go in against the Super League side at half-time, 24-22 up, it's making for a classic.
Thanks very much, Dean. Yes, it's
Stacey Jones jinked his way past a hesitant defence to give the Dragons a 17th minute 6-4 lead. But it was the inspirational Kiwi halfback's badly judged grubber kick which allowed Leon Price to pick up and give the home crowd a view of Saints' pace on attack. With young forward James Graham providing the link, Jamie Lyon and Sean Long paved the way for the second of A.D. Gardner's hat-trick of tries and a 26 half-time lead for the Saints. The Dragons battled hard to contain Saints in the final 40 minutes, but when there is nothing down for you, there is little you can do. A speculative kick from John Wilkin, an awkward bounce of the ball, and a 10th try of the match for St Helens from Vinnie Anderson sent the Dragons hurtling out of the Powergen Challenge Cup and taking a 56-10 defeat back home to Perpignan.
I'm sure they'll have every intention of keeping it up, but the big thing is that Hull KR have dominated possession, and they've dominated it on the back of a 6-2 penalty count, and I'm sure that Paul Cullen will have mentioned that they need to clean their act up in that way and get 50-50 with the ball, but I'm sure that Justin Morgan will be very heartened from that, and it really has. It's been a total credit to this club and the fans.
He's been suffering with flu all week, Justin Morgan. I think he might have found a cure for the aches and pains today.
Exactly right. I think he'll be feeling pretty good at the minute.
Well, it's Warrington who start in possession, of course, and looking to establish a platform from which they can build and turn this rather perilous position into a victory. It's Gleeson at dummy half, little kick downfield is by Sullivan. It's a good kick as well because it has put Hulkingston Rovers on the back foot. Byron Ford turns and finds an excellent Warrington chase which restricts him to within his own 10-metre mark.
Yeah, it's a great measurement of enthusiasm, that is the kick chase, and it was a good kick from Sullivan, but a very good chase, especially down the middle, where the prop forwards can often be found where they aren't quite up with the chasing duck. Well, Mark Hilton certainly was then.
If you're thinking about lighting the barbecue, leave it an hour or two, because we've got some great entertainment here this afternoon at Craven Park, and more to come at Headingley later on as well.
Well, another penalty. That was the story of the first half, that 6-2 penalty count.
Twice on the run.
And Michael Smith's carrying the ball in there. And his presence, his sheer physical presence and bulk is causing Warrington Wolves all sort of problems down their right-hand side defence.
Well, if Hulkingston Rovers do score next, you have to start believing that the upset is going to happen.
David, it doesn't matter if we're believing, I'll tell you, those guys in red and white certainly believe.
Here's Morrell back inside for Morrison, who steps and tries to push his way through, but can't do so. Fisher. Barker along the line to Morton, who had to show an element of bravery in taking that because the defensive line was moving up very, very closely. Morrell. Here's Webster, the kick to the corner is chased again. Farfili is back there. Can he get out of danger? No, he can't. It'll be a dropout underneath the sticks. It is more pressure on this Warrington line.
Yeah, it's a great tactic, isn't it, that Hull Kingston Rovers are using. That's what they're doing. They're passing, there's two passes, and he's sent his second receiver is Webster. That brings the wingman up, and he's then just sliding the ball in behind the wingman, forcing Farfili to turn. He's turning. By the time he's turned, the full chase is on him, and as you say, he just pushed him over the in-goal area, and it's a repeat centre six. Very, very good tactical work there by Hull Kingston Rovers.
Remember Wigan coming to this ground in the middle of their cup run, their famous cup run. It was the 89-90 season, and they only just got away with a victory that day when they were clear favourites on a very windy, blustery, stormy afternoon. Joe Lydon was struggling, kicking, clearing his lines that afternoon, but it's a very different environment in which Warrington find themselves, but a similar predicament.
Yeah, it's excellent, isn't it, for playing rugby league, and that's why I think you've seen 46 points in the first half, and let's hope for more of the same.
Dwayne Barker held up 15 yards away. Now it's moved right, little chip forward again. Morton has scored another. It's yet another glorious moment for Hull Kingston Rovers. This is turning into a dream. Unbelievable.
Absolutely marvellous tactically, Rovers. Building pressure with a kick down the left-hand side that turned Farfili. And then this time, well, we'll just produce another kick, this time from dummy half. Ben Fisher picks up. Again, it goes at the defensive line, pulls the defenders towards him, and just threads that kick between the Warrington Wolves defenders. And Morton is fully alert to that. He's quicker on it than Richie Van Ees to turn. And that's a great 4 points. A very, very good try. And another alternative to the kicking game. They really have got the tactics. A1 spot on at the minute, the red and whites.
Okay. No, it's not deliberate.
Well, all week in this city, this half of the city, they have been talking very, very confidently of causing the upset today. And those outside these parts were nodding at each other knowingly and saying, oh yeah, you're allowed your optimism, but that's all it is. But I tell you what, it is turning into reality.
Well, this is a great day, isn't it, for Hull Kingston Rovers? I mean, these spectators have winners. It's been a long time between drinks for them. But this will go down as a great day should they pull it off, and the way they're playing, David, you've got to think they may well do it.
Hull Kingston Rovers on their way to the semi-finals. Remember that historical fact, last time they were in a quarter-final against Warrington back in 1980 was the year, the one and only year, they actually won the Challenge Cup itself. That's put wide, but it is still a 6-point gap between the sides.
Yeah, they've been disappointed though, Gareth Morton. Look at this lovely little play from the hooker. Forward he goes. He reads that he's pushing up his Gareth Morton, threads the kick in between, and he finishes very, very well indeed. Real top-quality kicking performance by the Hull Kingston Rovers team.
Well, this is no longer just a test of Hull Kingston Rovers' character and pedigree. Now it switches the other way. It is now a test of Warrington's character and pedigree. Can they dig themselves out of this hole?
Well, the first thing they've got to do, David, is stop giving silly penalties away, which is giving Hull Kingston Rovers good field position. They've got to make them earn that field position by carrying the ball, and that might happen. An error there from Dwayne Barker.
Those are the moments. Can Warrington thrive from this position? Hilton drives it in. The Wolves are looking menacing at the moment. It's back to Bridge. Bridge back again to Clark, who gets it onto Martin Gleeson. Good covering tackle from Goddard. Farfili's the dummy half. Searches, doesn't find a gap. Goddard's there again to make the tackle. Here comes Clark. Swan, they are swamping them. They're There is no room for movement. Warrington cannot get themselves free from these shackles. Bridge pulls it back. Sullivan, short pass by him. Wainwright goes down. 5 tackles successful. Can Hulkingston Rovers make it 6? Morton, he's down injured here, though.
Here's a problem for Morton. It was a very, very good tackle indeed. And Michael Wainwright half spotted the gap. But it might be a shoulder problem. But again, he's taking the line on Sullivan. Hits the outside ball. Real good tackle. Just lands awkwardly there. And he's staying in that prone position.
I wonder what Paul Cullen's thinking at the moment. Penny for his thoughts.
And what he's thinking is my team good enough, and he'll be very confident that they are. They've been in great form in Super League. And you've just got to show composure and belief. And I'm sure that, well, I know Paul, he will be very composed.
Come on, Gareth, on your feet, mate.
But they need a good finish to the set. It's the last tackle, and it must be a quality last tackle play from Bridge.
Here it comes. Back to Bridge. He's going to put it high. Farfili is ever so dangerous in these positions. Up he goes, down he comes. Not for the first time in his illustrious career. Henry Farfili goes up underneath the bomb and scores the try for Warrington.
Well, what did we say, David? It needs to be a quality last tackle play, and you don't get much better than that. There's the error from Barker, which again Warrington have punished. It's given them the good field position.
Was there a steal there?
No, he's got a responsibility to look after the football. And then this quality last tackle play, he isolates the winger Byron Ford. And Henry Farfield is tremendous at timing his jump. And look at the skill level. Times it, eyes on the ball, cushions it in, and then gets the downward pressure there for a tremendous try. Absolute quality last tackle play, and that's just what Warrington Wolves needed, just to settle the nerves.
Just about the best in Super League, Henry Farfili getting under those high balls, isn't he?
He's exceptional. As Pat Richards at Wigan was pretty good, but he's one of the best is Farfili.
Big kick. This from Bridge to make it level. Is it good enough? No, it's not. No, it's not. So it remains a lead for Hulkingston Rovers. 28-26.
Excellent. Bridges stood wide to give himself plenty of time there. He absolutely isolates the wingman. It becomes a one-on-one contest, and the guy who's under the ball obviously can't jump as well as the guy who's advancing forward. Farfili times his jump superbly. Technically it's a great catch, and that's a marvellous try.
Well, I don't think many would have believed that we would have such a cup tie so delicately poised at this stage of the second half.
Well, it's ignited this competition, hasn't it, this game? It's been absolutely sensational.
Let's go down to Damien Johnson again on the sidelines. Damien.
I've got one of the Warrington assistant coaches, Gary Chambers, here. Gary, it's a terrific cup tie for the neutrals and the Hull KR fans, but not the way you'd want it to go.
No, we just got to play a bit smarter. We're giving way too many penalties at the moment, so you know, we tighten that up, play with a bit of territory behind us, and try and turn the game around a little bit.
Have Hull KR surprised you? They're playing like a Super League team.
No, they're a good, well-coached team. We knew what to expect. We're just not helping ourselves.
Thanks, Gary.
Just the issue of extra time, by the way. If it is level after 80 minutes, we have 10 minutes each way, and if it's still level after that, we're into golden point. They might be hanging on at Headingley until we've got this one over, but there's an awful long way to go before we get to that scenario. Here's Morton, fully recovered, good ball out wide to Steele. Could do little other than stutter another 10 yards or so.
He just had to hesitate, didn't he, to take that pass. It wasn't as crisp as perhaps it could have been.
Webster tried to dummy his way past Mark Gleeson, but the defender was up to it. Sixth tackle again here. So wide to Morel, who puts it high. Farfili underneath this one. Comes down safely with it, and I think that's going to be a drop out under the sticks. It is, because he took it in the field of play and then was pushed back into the in-goal area. So there you can see jumps from in the field of play.
Yeah, the referee's got it exactly right, but again, it's a great quality last tackle play from this time from Hulkingston Rovers. Lovely kick to Farfili, just short of the try line. So Farfili had to jump from in the field of play, and he landed in the in-goal area. So that's play on, and Hulkingston Rovers panned him in there, and then it's obviously a repeat set, and let's see if they can take advantage of this pressure.
Well, here they come. This is Steele, the right winger.
Back to one.
It got a touch.
Play enough.
So for what it matters, that is the... Well, this is the zero tackle. Here comes the first tackle. So they've got a set of 7, if you like, here.
Once again, it's very interesting that the three quarters are setting up the field position for them to play.
Fisher. This is Tonga Tatua. Little step and a good take from Cocaine from Webster's pass, but again, well watched by Brent Gross. Here's Fisher down the blind side. Dwayne Barker. No way through.
Hold.
Fisher. Webster. Flat ball. Oh, that was a big hit on Cocaine. It was Swan who put the shoulder in.
Read that very well, the Wolves' defence.
Morel kicks again. Oh, it's a good one. It's a try. It's another Hull Kingston Rovers try. Byron Ford springs in his heels, joy in his heart, disbelief amongst the Hull Kingston Rovers fans. They are in dreamland again.
Sensational work, wasn't it? What a kicking game Hull Kingston Rovers have had. Not so much to clear their own half, but it's an offensive kicking game on the Warrington line. And it's a beautiful, delicate chip kick there. And that time it's Farfili who's isolated. And it's Byron Smith that's got the run and the jump on him. And he allows him to time it perfectly and come down with the 4 points. So it's anything you can do, we can do. Not as well, even better. Beautiful little chip kick there. Timed his run superbly, did Byron Ford. And over he goes there. He's a happy bunny. And so are all the guys in red and white.
We are Hull KR is the chant around Craven Park. They've just announced themselves very loudly around the nation here this afternoon. 32-26 with a kick to come. Could anyone have possibly have predicted this scoreline, this level of excitement in this game? It has been terrific. Morton trying to resume a level of calmness to ensure the kick is a good one. It has been struck just wide again, just wide, so it keeps Warrington in touch. They remain a try and a goal behind, that's all.
That's an exquisite play. Again, he's bought himself plenty of time with standing very, very wide, reasonably deep. And it was a real good piece of skill there with not only the kick from Morel, but also the timing of the run and the jump from Byron Ford. And those guys, they know they're in the game.
By the way, take your hats off Hunslet if you're watching today, because in the 18 games Hull Kingston Rovers have played so far this season, only Hunslet have kept them below 30 points. Not even Super League side Warrington could achieve it.
Well, I just think that the attacking play of Warrington as well when they've got a chance, but also of Hull KR in the opposition 20 has been so clinical, Dave. They've finished the sets in very, very positive manner, either with repeat sets or with tries. It's absolutely outstanding attacking rugby league.
If Hull Kingston Rovers win today, it's a club record 18 consecutive wins. As Morton plunders again down this right-hand side. Here they go with Steele, ball back inside. Good, desperate covering from Warrington. Sixth tackle coming up. Another try here. My word, what would that do to the game? Good offload on the sixth tackle. Martin Gleeson can't make the tackle. Cocaine to Michael Smith. Out it goes, wide left. It's taken by Byron Ford. Oh, has he got there? Has he got there? This could be a match winner. What a decision to be made by the video referee now.
Second one is such.
Well, Mr. Gans is asking the video referee to look for some obstruction.
The man who gets in front
and then he's looking for the grounding, but I'll tell you, he must have grounded the crowd over there in that corner. They went absolutely berserk. Is there obstruction? Not for me.
No.
Farfili's chosen. He's made a wrong decision to come in. And he picks up the ball. It was an okay pass. He came off the ground. He's grounded it all right, but they'll have to look at his foot. Is Byron Ford's foot out of play? You can't see from there, but I think that looks like it's okay. You've got to trust the touch judge's decision. He's only a couple of 3 metres away. I think this will be a try.
All the angles covered, and the try is given. And now they really are beginning to believe that this could be quite a fairy tale on the banks of the Humber. Hull Kingston Rovers rolling back the years, and they could be on their way to a semi-final. Justin Morgan, what have you created here?
Well, it's created something pretty special, hasn't it, with this winning run. But it's a performance. The level of performance has been phenomenal. They've looked every inch. Warrington haven't played badly, David. Warrington have played A-OK. They've just given too many penalties away. But Hull Kingston Rovers have been absolutely clinical in everything that they've done.
Lost in the excitement at the moment, by the way, was the fact that that was Byron Fort's hat-trick.
He won't be worried about that. He'll be more interested with your scoreboard.
Here comes Morton. Well, his kicking has not been great. And I know we're asking for an awful lot here, but had Gareth Morton's kicking been impeccable today, they might have just been out of sight by this stage.
They would, yeah. Well, it looked as if the Wolves had just stopped the play, but they just kept the ball alive by hook or by crook. And then it's this basketball throw by Michael Smith. Hits the ground, but what a superb finish from the left winger Byron Ford there. It really has finished superbly well for all three of his tries. And my word, what's made matters worse? They've kicked straight out on the full. Are the Warrington Wolves rattled, David? I think so.
Penalty goes Hull Kingston Rovers' way. By the way, that record, that winning record, the last time they won 18 in a row was back in 66-67. Colin Hutton's great side of the 60s. Well, Colin Hutton's here today, isn't he? The president of Hull Kingston Rovers. And he will be one of those proudest in red and white with what he's witnessing here.
Yeah, he was very excited, was Colin, and stalwarts like Phil Lowe and Peter Johnson. They were really excited with what's on offer this afternoon. And I can understand why, David. It's been tremendous.
It is astonishing. Absolutely astonishing. And if anything, Hull Kingston Rovers are favourites to score again here. Tangazatoa with the offload. Here comes Fisher. What an offload! Has he rolled over? Has he got the try? Netherton? Yes, he has! Out goes the finger from the referee. Netherton scores again. Now we are beyond the bounds of believability.
It's a probability now, David. It's not a possibility because it's 14 points up. And once again, it's a penalty. This time, Warrington kicked the ball out on the full from the kick-off there from the previous score. Chris Bridge has put too much on it. Rovers know they've got a great opportunity for good field position again. Once again, it's Webster and Morell have created everything. Carrying the football forward there. The prop forward, lovely little offload. Fisher, good footwork there. Gets half through, gets his hands free. And then Netherton manages to claw the ball into his grasp. To cross, great offload there, and another one's coming up from Fisher. Netherton just manages to cling on, pirouetting the tackle and plonk the ball over the whitewash. What a try, what an occasion, what a competition.
We were all absolutely amazed last year when Toulouse beat Widnes under the stewardship of Justin Morgan, but believe me, this eclipses that by a distance. This is an extraordinary performance by Hull Kingston Rovers. Oh, he's put it wide.
Oh, dear me.
He's put it wide. They might just have scored enough tries, you know.
Well, David, you've mentioned it. Gareth Morton's a very good kicker and all. But look at this for an offload there. Footwork, gets his nose through the defensive line, two tacklers in, gets his arms free, promotes the ball there for Netherton, who's pushing up on the outside. But a very good try indeed. And, you know, Paul Cullen, he knows he's got his work cut out. They've got to go for the short kick-off.
Oh, it's gone out again. It's gone out again. It's like the gambler on a losing run, throwing good money after bad.
Well, it is, but this shows where they've missed Leibridge, you know. He'd be the man out there to take control and to calm things down. And Chris Bridge, just his execution under pressure there, kicked the previous one out full over the dead ball line, that one over the sideline. Once again, Rovers have possession. Warrington just want the ball in the hand.
Well, reality check, there are still 21 minutes left to play. But having said that, Warrington have to score 3 times.
You'd be happy going into the last quarter, David. 14 points up, believe you me.
It's Webster. Here's Barker.
Lost the ball.
Lost it.
Yeah, it's a second header from Barker. It's a poor carry, that one. As the referee's told him, it's a loose carry and he's right as well. And they've sent Toakoilu out there to just brighten them up a little.
Have your heads in, come on, tidy.
Two things to say, by the way, if you are just switching on, looking at this scoreline. One of them is that Hull Hulkingston Rovers were actually trailing by 10 points twice in the first half, and the other is where have you been? It's been a classic game.
Yes, it has, but that's the third penalty, that one, to Warrington, so let's see if they can capitalise upon that.
Let's go down to Damien Johnson again. Damien.
Leroy Rivette from Hull KR is with me. Leroy, 14-point cushion. Are you now starting to believe?
Yeah, we're pretty happy at the moment. I think it's fair to say it's probably going better than what we expected. But 40 points, 26 with 20 minutes to go. I think the confidence is showing in the boys, and the belief is starting to show now out there on the field.
What about fitness? It often shows towards the end when two teams from different divisions meet.
Yeah, no, we're a full-time outfit. We're pretty fit, so we're pretty confident we can go for the full 80 minutes.
Thanks, Leroy.
A couple of claims for understatement of the year there. We're pretty happy with the way things are going.
Yeah.
A bit better than we thought it might have done.
I think they'll be delirious should this be the scoreline after 80 minutes.
Oh, they've lost it again. It's been lost by Brent Gross when Warrington were just about putting themselves in a good position.
Yeah, they got a good field position, didn't they? But they haven't capitalised. But Hulkingston Rovers, Dave, they've just got to keep playing. Don't look at the scoreboard, don't look at the clock, just look at each tackle and each play of the ball and keep the intensity going. And these three quads have done a great job, in their own half, bringing the ball out.
It is quality and passion that has taken them this far. It is adrenaline that might just get them through to the semi-finals. Picked up from dummy half by Morrison, back to the middle again. Here's Cockayne, tries to hand off and almost successfully on Chris Lightball. Morrison. Oh, little chip. He was offside. Sullivan gave himself up.
Yeah.
The sixth tackle.
Well, I thought he could have played it, that Sullivan, because he went backwards onside. But Dwayne Back will be happy because he can just put a clearing kick in that's fielded on the full by Brent Gross.
Here comes Farfili. Good play by Henry Farfili. Off he goes. Has a look inside. Beats Cockayne. Tries to step again. The recovery tackle is from Goddard. Cockayne was back there too.
Marvellous break that, but that was good defence by OKR because they got between the ball carrier and the support player, which meant Farfili had to go on his own.
Second.
It's Lightball. Here's Gleeson. Good hands here. Swan out to Henry Farfili, who's got a bit of work to do, but he's back. He's back on the inside, and Warrington might just be back in the game.
Yeah,
second try for Henry Farfili.
A high-quality try as well, that was. They upped the ante there. It was Farfili that created the field position with his kick return. Look at his footwork here. Bang! And he really does stand Goddard up there. Shows the ball there, which made the winger drop out onto Gross. Had the presence of mind not to panic. Just went to ground, but that was the field position created for this lovely little bit of soft hands here, which allowed Logan Swan just to give Farfili enough space for him to step inside the covering Rovers defence for a good try. And Bridge needs to kick this.
They needed that, they need this. Bridge strikes it wide. 10 points the gap, 40 points to 30.
Well, it's lovely hands, isn't it, this? The skill there in the soft hands, and then perhaps he gave the ball a little early, but Swan could have crossed himself, but it's all the end result, and the end result was a try for Farfili. Lovely little work there. It's Lightball there, and it's Gleeson, Gross, and then Swan, all in the blink of an eye, that created the opportunity for Farfili wide out.
Okay.
Just remind you of one of your duties today, John, is to think about the man of the match. So just have a few thoughts about that before you actually reveal to us who you think it might be. But there are certainly several candidates out there, aren't there?
I think there's 17 wearing red and white, David, and really have played very, very well indeed. But, I haven't had time to think. It's been an absolutely engrossing game. And, you know, I don't think we've seen the end of it yet.
Here's Wood. 2 tries, 2 goals. Warrington are back level, but look at that, 65% territorial advantage.
Possession and field position has all been Hull KR's, but again they've given a penalty, and Warrington have really caned them on this. It's only the 4th penalty Warrington have conceded. They're not square, they're interference that they play the ball, and the penalty counts 9-4, but Warrington have certainly capitalised whenever they've had opportunities from penalties.
Here's Swan. Warrington will know the game is far from up. They have time to pull this one out of the fire. And what a furnace it's been as well for them today.
Second.
4 tackles to come here. It's Bridge with a step back inside.
Yeah, plenty of energy though, haven't they, to defend because they've dominated possession so much, Hull KR.
Mark Gleeson. Out it goes to Sullivan. Sullivan inside against a Swan who tries to offload. Here's Sullivan! He has scored! He has scored! Warrington are clawing their way back.
Well, again, it's on the back of the field position through a penalty. And they've taken full advantage of it, and it was some real top skill at the end there with Michael Sullivan. Well, look here, it's Sullivan. He picks out Michael Wainwright. Michael Wainwright's got a reputation for getting his hands free in the tackle. He does that again, plunks it on the ground. Look at that pickup. Great pickup under pressure. And that allows him just to burrow his way over. But it was the pickup that made the try there. He pushed up because he knows Wainwright will promote the ball. He certainly did. And Sullivan's over for a very, very, very important try for the Warrington cause.
Well, is that the try that turns the tide? If Bridge kicks this, and he has done, Warrington are only 4 points behind. The cry will go up. This game is still winnable for the Super League side.
Look at that pickup. Absolutely exquisite skill under pressure and the intensity and the excitement of a quarter-final of the Cup. Hands free, dumps the ball down, and the pickups where the money is and where the 4 points is. Great work.
One big roar going up from the Craven Park crowd. One big effort needed from the Hull Kingston Rovers side if they're going to cause an upset here. Was that a knock-on? No, it wasn't. It came off the knee.
Well, Warrington are scoring, David, when they get the ball, but Hull Kingston have really dominated possession, and they just need to make sure they get enough possession, because I'm sure there's more points in this, you know. Well, we've got 30 minutes left. Plenty of time to score.
Who's going to win it? Who's going to get this?
Hull Kingston might win it and Warrington might win it, David. That's
You're
called
a coward. You're a coward. Manu, you're a former Hull coach, so you have to be careful in these parts.
I certainly do.
It's taken on by Paul Wood. Suddenly, Warrington digging very, very deep, looking for the reserves that might just pull them out. Oh, it's knocked on by Bridge. Mistake after mistake after mistake.
Yeah. Well, there was nothing wrong with the pass there, and Chris Bridge should have swallowed that. He was looking where he was going to put the kick, but he actually then ended up putting the ball down, and 11 times Warrington have lost possession in comparison to Hull Kingston Rovers losing it 5, so that in itself, along with the penalties, tells you the tale why Rovers have dominated possession.
12 minutes left to play. We'd normally talk about fitness when it's a National League side against a Super League side, but Hull Kingston Rovers are fully professional, and having watched them train earlier this week, I can tell you they've got some fantastic facilities as well. So they should be at the fitness levels of any Super League side.
Yeah, they've had all the ball as well, David, which is very, very important.
Here's Fisher. This is Webster. Little kick. It's taken safely in the end by Reardon.
Well, I think that's the first kick.
Well.
Yeah, it was Brent Gross, who's now playing at fullback. That's the first kick, really, that's been wasted in the Warrington 20-metre zone.
Now Warrington collecting self-belief here. 3 tackles gone, 3 to come. Good run by Gross. To his feet, there is a real sense of fatigue in the body language of the Warrington players. They've just about made the halfway line, but they've run out of tackles.
Let's have a look at the chase, so that will indicate if there's any petrol left in the fuel tank.
Cocaine's taken it.
And it ain't a bad chase.
1. Go.
Again, we've got the 3 quarters coming in.
2.
Scooting out from the half, using the footwork to get quick play of the balls and generate the go forward.
Webster, oh, it's another long ball taken by Morton.
3rd. Get up.
They've still got that confidence, haven't they? They're not closing up shop here. They
can't close up, David. They've got to just play the processes. Keep going through the processes. Forget the time and forget the scoreboard.
Good footwork, good handwork by the big man. Tanga Tatua. Here's Webster. Morel's got a gap here. Now, how far can he go? Inside to Cocaine, who's got loads of pace. Oh, the pass was forced. It's gone forward.
Yeah, composure there from young Ben Cockayne from fullback. Great work from Scott Morrell. I've been terribly impressed with both him and Webster. Rather than kick the ball, he chose to run it on the last. But then a rush of blood there. And he just let Warrington off the hook. But one of these big name players for the Warrington Wolves has got to come up with a big play, you know, if they're going to rescue this game.
A try and a goal would win it for Warrington. It is that close. But they cannot concede again. Here's Mark Gleeson. Good hands here, Swan. Now Farfili. Farfili stepping back inside. Couple of tackles left in this set, that's all. So they have to come up with something special pretty soon. This is overloaded, try to force it, and thrown out of play by Brent Gross. It is not clicking at all.
It's worked for them before, hasn't it? Just overloading that short side and using quick hands. But not that time. The skill just let him down there, Brent Gross just panicked a little. And the time's off, and a lot of urgency there by the Wolves to get to the scrum. What a game, Dave.
Justin Morgan is keeping as cool as anybody in the ground, I think. But I'm sure
he might look cool.
Well, I was going to say, I'm sure underneath that veneer there is an awful lot of fluttering hearts and palpitations.
Second.
Fisher.
Mate, come on. Third.
Here's Seb Martin, the Frenchman. He'll be taking plenty of happy memories with him back to Perpignan tomorrow. Webster, inside ball for Price.
5.
Here comes the sixth tackle. Webster. Oh! The attempted interception has been knocked on. It will mean that Kingston Rovers will get possession again here.
Yeah, it was a decision there by Webster, who's played really well to run the ball there. Tried to give a long pass. Took the gamble to go for the interception, did Sullivan, but didn't come off. But what he's done is given possession once again to Hull Kingston Rovers in a great field position, just 30 metres away from the Warrington line.
Had Sullivan taken that and scored, it might have been game over. Instead, it is still very much game on. Down the blind side goes Michael Smith, bouncing off all attempted tacklers. Look at him go.
Well, he's played really well, hasn't he, today, Michael Smith, down that left channel.
Fisher, Webster, Barker back inside to Cockayne, who's searching. He's found one or two gaps in the game, but not this time. Logan Swan will make the tackle. 7.5 minutes left to play. Webster, now it's in by Gareth Price. Up a dummy half, and back to Webster with a drop goal attempt underneath the bar.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that was the correct decision when you're 4 points up. I think they'd have been better sticking to the tried and tested tactics. He went for the drop goal there, but what they've done is they've kicked so well in the 120-metre zone by just putting the ball in the in-goal area on isolated defenders and putting pressure on them. And to go away from that script, I don't know why they've done it with 4 points. If they've been 6 points or 12 points, I could have understood it.
There's Gleeson, Martin Gleeson, good offload to his younger brother Mark. There's a Hull Kingston Rovers player down injured at the moment. I think it's Dwayne Barker who's looking uncomfortable as Warrington.
Michael Smith, I think it is.
It's Michael Smith who's down here.
5.
Sixth tackle. Gleeson. Back to Bridge. Up it goes. It's a hit and a hope. Cockayne's underneath it, and he's taken it very, very solidly.
Very good indeed there from the fullback. It's a very high kick, and it allowed Bridge to contest it. And that guy will be very happy, Justin Morgan, and they'll go back to route one. 3 quarters late footwork, quick play the balls, and finishing with a good kick.
Driven forward by Netherton, Jason Netherton. Fisher. Now it'll be Seb Martin. Good solid carry and drive by him. But here comes the sixth again. Fisher. Now it's Webster looking for the touchline. Doesn't want to go out of play in goal. It will do though. It'll be a tap back on the 20.
Not a bad kick though, David. He's kicked really well as Webster, and it allows the defensive line to be set. And time's running out. We're entering the last 5 minutes, so Martin Gleeson's really trying hard enough to come up with the big plays. It needs somebody else to get in there and take some responsibility.
Hilton.
Second. Hold. Go.
Mark Gleeson. Sullivan with a dummy and then tries to trick his way through. He's lost it again. Tried to force the pass.
Yeah.
It went forward.
What did we speak about, David? Composure. And the penalty count's gone against Warrington, and the header count certainly has as well. And the gift in possession to Hull Kingston Rovers. And he just needed to hit the floor and try and play the ball as quickly as possible. You need to put them under some pressure at the right end of the field, not in midfield.
All the push. Straight in and out.
I'll tell you what, if Kingston Rovers do hang on and win here today, there'll be more than just a ball in the bag in the semi-finals. They'll be real contenders.
And it'll be one of the great cup ties, I'll tell you, of all times. It's been absolutely sensational.
Here's Coquet.
Second. Move.
Fisher is up at dummy half. Price driving it in. Looking to get close again. Webster inside for Seb Martin. Martin with the offload. Fired it out. Taken safely by Price. Price almost breaks the line. Just pulled down by Paul Wood. Picked up again now by Morrell. Here comes Webster. Webster's kick. Was he impeded? It doesn't matter because Gross has to put it dead. Drop out from underneath the sticks. Time is ticking away.
Well, he's been the little general today, hasn't he, Webster? Absolutely sensational, and he's my man of the match because of how he's marshalled his troop, directed them about the field, and putting some crucial plays, not only with ball in hand, but from his foot as well. His kicking game has been first class.
4 points, the difference. Here's Steele. Remember, if Warrington do score a try and fail to kick the goal, we've got extra time.
If to get the ball in the hands first, and with the kicking game Rovers have demonstrated, they may well just keep going for the repeat sets.
Cocaigne's taken them close. Here's Webster again. It's another kick in goal. It's Morrison who tried to get there, who claimed he was impeded, but it's brought clear by Gross.
Yeah, coach Justin Morgan will be disappointed. Gareth Morton, he should have pushed up there for that little extra effort to try and pin them in goal. As it is, it's given Warrington an outside chance.
Sullivan. Gleeson. To Martin Gleeson. Can't find a way through. They're going to have to find a very, very big play. Maybe in the next 2 tackles if they're going to win this. Bridge. It's going to go to the wire. Martin Gleeson again. Martin Gleeson. Down he goes. Here comes a 6th tackle, and they might not get the ball back again. They might not get it back, so they need this to be good. Up it goes. Cocaine lets it bounce and gathers it in safely.
I think they'll get one more set.
I was going to say about 45 seconds for a set of 6.
I think they'll get one more set at Warrington Wolves. I'm sure that Hull Kingston Rovers will try and get the ball forward as far as they can and put it over the sideline to walk to the scrum and try and kill the clock a little.
It'll be the slowest set of 6 you've ever seen this. Hull Kingston Rovers just going through the motions, counting down the tackles, counting down the clock. 95 seconds left to play. The whistles are for the hooter. Driven in by Price.
Well, they've brought it centre. I thought they'd have gone to a sideline, but I'm sure they'll go for the touchline here.
Oh, they're going through hands. Morton again. Out it goes to Steele. Steele now cuts back inside. Steele's caught. Have they made a mistake? Should they have kicked the ball there? Because Warrington now have 6 tackles.
But ain't that a sign of confidence there, trying to go for the kill? And but it has given Warrington the football, but it's in a good position. They've turned it over well, deep inside the Warrington half. So they've got 5 tackles, Warrington, to win this game.
It's hey, lads, hey. Forward comes Wood. Off a suspiciously flat ball as well. Warrington have to gamble here. They have to do something special. Taken on by Westwood, kept alive, on again by Griggs. Griggs looks for support. 3 tackles gone, 3 to come. Gleeson down the blind side. Off it goes. Oh, he's lost it.
That's the ball game.
He's lost it. And Holkingston Rovers are going to win it.
Yeah, it looked as if they'd created half a chance there with Sullivan coming on the inside. And the ball there to Westwood, it should have been taken. Westwood just switched off, lacked concentration there at the end of a very long, tiring afternoon. But that's the ball game for me. They'll take the ball, they'll just take it to the sideline and play the ball very slowly. 9 seconds. Paul Cullen, he knows his team are out of the cup. And Justin Morgan, I'm sure he knows his team are in the bag for the semi-finals. What a game!
Absolutely astonishing. It really has been. It has been one hell of an upset on Humberside today. Here comes Cocaine again. That's the 80. That's the hooter. That's the victory. It is an incredible, absolutely incredible cup victory for Justin Morgan and those Holkingston Rovers supporters. What a game. What a win.
Well, what an 80 minutes entertainment there. And you can see what it means to the Holkingston Rovers players, but more importantly what it means to the fans. They looked all I see. They saw them win the cup last year. This is their day in the sun. And coach Justin Morgan, who's got a definite affinity with this competition, he's produced the magic for them. What an absolutely sensational afternoon. Warrington's made a contribution, but it's all about the fellas from East Hull in red and white. What a game.
Let the pictures tell the story. Sheer delight at Craven Park. It is a scoreline that not even the most ardent Robins fan would ever have dreamt of. Holkingston Rovers 40, Warrington 36. In your dreams. But the dream has come true today for Holkingston Rovers. They are through to the semi-final. Astonishing. Absolutely astonishing. Let's go down to Damien Johnson. Damien.
Where I'm joined by a very proud captain, James Webster, a man of the match. Just put into words your feelings right now.
Oh, mate, undescribable. At the start of the week, we spoke about on Monday that, we came here to win today. We weren't coming just up to make the numbers. We really had a big belief that we could win.
They scored first. They came back here at the end. You had to show real character.
Yeah, no, we stuck. We knew there was going to be times when we'll be back up against the wall, and we spoke about them. So we've just got to push through it. And they're a great side. They've beaten Hull, Leeds, and Bradford already this year. And now, we've knocked them over.
Glory days are back at Hull KR. Are you sick of talking about the old days here?
No, why not? It's a proud club. It's one of the original clubs in the world, and it's just such a strong rugby league area. And obviously we've been playing second fiddle to Hollow Sea for a long period of time now. But we're in a semi-final of the Challenge Cup, and they're things you dream of as a kid.
What are your thoughts about the last 4? You'll face anyone now, I guess.
Oh, mate, all sides are quality sides now, aren't they? Obviously, you got Leeds and Saints. I love them to play each other, and we get the other one. But it doesn't matter whoever we get, they're going to be a top team.
Well done, James. You're our Power Gen man of the match. Congratulations.
Thanks, Will.
Justin Morgan, the Hull KR coach, is with us. Justin, a fabulous day for you.
Yeah, fantastic. The boys they prepared exceptionally well this week. They took a lot on board with Warrington we're going to offer. Great game of rugby league. Very proud of them. They deserve it because I thought they put in a great performance today.
How did you mastermind this? Because we saw you last year do it with 2 leaves, beating Widnes.
Well, it's just it's a team effort really, and I'm obviously with Dean Sampson and myself. We spent a lot of time watching Warrington, and we take a lot of input from the players like James Webster, Scott Burrell, Ben Cocaine, Francis Stevenson. It's a true team effort. From all the players and the coaching staff. So I'm glad they enjoyed it. This is a big one for the fans.
Did you start to doubt when Warrington looked like they were going to peg you back?
Well, I never started to doubt. I just thought, well, we haven't really been in this situation before. It was going to be interesting to see how we were. We put under a lot of pressure in that second half, but I thought we responded exceptionally well.
Many congratulations, Justin. Well done.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Well, they've beaten a side today. Just to put this in context, they've beaten a side today who could actually have gone on and won the Challenge Cup. I mean, Warrington are no mugs. They are one of the real solid Super League sides, and I don't think anyone would have ever expected them to have been beaten here. So can Holkingston Rovers now, John Keir, go on and win this competition?
Why not? The belief's there. I mean, James Webster is quite interesting how he spoke about the players having that belief, and it's really come through in the performance.
Damien Johnson is with the defeated coach Paul Cullen. Damien.
Paul, put into words your feelings right now, knocked out of the Challenge Cup by a lower league side.
Got nothing to do with us. This we don't really work. We're not really worth a mention. That's all Hulkingston Rovers. Out fought through the full 80. You know, it's a massive effort from them, a massive day. They were exceptional, and we were awful.
You lost Lee Breers before kick-off. Would you point to that as an excuse?
Nothing to do with it whatsoever. You know, we had enough players out there to do some business, and we're very disappointed with the dishonesty of some of our players today.
You'd put it as strongly as that? Your players were dishonest for you?
Dishonest with the penalty count. Not much foul play, just cheated, hands on balls, not square up marker, and invited a very well-drilled, very well-coached side into a fight that some of ours couldn't handle.
Can you put your disappointment to one side for one moment and tell us, do you think LKR could go on and win it?
Oh, well, that's another question for someone else. You know, my concerns will be Warrington and not Hulkingston Rovers. Apart from, well done, congratulations, the best team won easily.
You seem to be so inconsistent. How are you going to put a stop to that?
Got to try and get one or two to not give us away as many penalties and concede field position. You know, it's a cruel game. You give the ball away against a side with a bit of fight and a bit of quality and a lot of heart, and you're in trouble. And we were right from the first kick-off today.
I appreciate you talking to us, Paul. Thanks.
Just to again, just to try and put this into context, they were losing by 10 points twice in the first half, John Keir, Hulkingston Rovers. It wasn't as if they built momentum and held on. They showed terrific character in coming from behind twice in the first half, and they did it again in the second. Astonishing stuff. Damien again. Damien.
Yeah, hat-tricks of tries for Byron Ford. Byron, a terrific day for Hulkingston Rovers, and for you personally.
Yeah, massive day, more for the club, so, mate. I think the fans really deserve this coming out. They come out every week like this, they're mad, but they deserve it more than we do, I think, today.
Did you always believe that you could beat Warrington, a Super League side?
I think that was the main thing, that we did believe we could do it. That as long as we kept up with their speed, that we could come home at the end. And after the first 10 minutes, it showed that we could keep up, and I think the confidence took in the change room. That's why we come home.
And what are your thoughts about the semi-final? Because big teams await.
I'll leave that to Justin, mate. He's the one that does all the thinking. We just go out there and do the job for him.
Thanks very much, Byron. Go and enjoy the celebrations. That's just about it from us here. We've seen a terrific Cup quarter-final in the Power Gen Challenge Cup. See if you can match it. Back to you, Claire at Headingley.